Hey guys, welcome back to Elevated Soul. Today we are continuing with the next chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. King Āgnīdhra, Canto 5. After the retirement of his father, King Āgnīdhra ruled Jambudvipa as if the inhabitants were his own children. Once, with a desire to obtain a highly qualified son so that he could go to Pitraloka after death, Āgnīdhra went to a valley of Mandara hill to worship Lord Brahma. The reason why a great devotee like Maharaja Priyavrata could have a materialistic son is that Āgnīdhra was conceived at a time when his father had become highly infatuated with lust. For Āgnīdhra to begot a very good son, he required a highly qualified wife, and so he went to a nice garden where the damsels of heaven came down to stroll. There, after collecting flowers and other necessary paraphernalia, he began his worship. Lord Brahma, who fully represents the Supreme Lord, could understand the desire in Āgnīdhra's heart. When he became very pleased by Āgnīdhra's worship and austerity, Lord Brahma selected the best of the Apsaras from his assembly and sent her to the king. The park where Āgnīdhra was seated in meditation was celestially beautiful because of its dense green foliage, exotic singing birds such as the peacock and swan, and a pond of clear water filled with lotus flowers. When Purvachitti walked along the garden path in a very attractive style and mood of her own, her ankle bells made a pleasing tinkling sound. The handsome Prince Āgnīdhra was supposedly controlling his senses while performing the yoga system with half-closed eyes, but when he saw the Apsara before him and heard the tinkling of her bangles, he opened his lotus-like eyes more widely so that he could see her better. Purvachitti could attract the minds of not only human beings but the demigods as well. Because of her playful movements, her shyness and humility, her glances, and her wonderfully sweet voice. In fact, as she spoke, nectar seemed to flow from her mouth, and when she breathed, the bees hovered around her beautiful face, mad for its taste. Being disturbed by the bees, Purvachitti moved hastily, and thus her hair, hips, and water pot-like breast moved in a way that seemed to make a pathway for the entrance of Cupid into the minds of men. Āgnīdhra became completely conquered upon seeing Purvachitti's exquisitely feminine beauty, and thus he addressed her as follows. O best of saintly persons, who are you? What is your purpose in coming here? Are you one of the specific potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You appear to be carrying two bows without strings. Perhaps you have come here to kill the wild animals in the forest. Due to lust, Āgnīdhra had lost all intelligence, and thus he could not distinguish whether Purvachitti was male or female. For this reason, he addressed her as Munivarya. Still, because of her great beauty, Āgnīdhra could not really believe that she could be a boy, and so he began to study her bodily features more carefully. First, he saw her two eyebrows, which were so expressive that he thought that she might be a Maya Devi herself. He compared these eyebrows to bows without strings. The material world is like a great forest, and the inhabitants are like the animals that are hunted and killed. Captivated by the beauty of woman, the men of this world are killed by these bows without strings. After observing Purvachitti's glancing eyes, Āgnīdhra said, "My dear friend, you have two very powerful arrows whose feathers are like the petals of a lotus flower. Although they have no shafts, their points are very sharp. You must have come to this forest to shoot these arrows at someone, but I cannot understand who. No one is equal to you in terms of prowess, and so I pray that you will enable me to obtain good fortune." Since Āgnīdhra was captivated by Purvachitti, he hoped that her powerful glances upon him would be favorable, for it would now be impossible for him to remain without her. Āgnīdhra said, "My dear lord, the bumblebees surrounding you are like disciples, for they seem to be incessantly offering you prayers by chanting the mantras of the Samaveda. I have become so captivated by you that when I look at your beautiful round hips and very thin waist, it seems as if you have forgotten to dress yourself." Although Āgnīdhra had become almost mad after seeing Purvachitti's breast, he still could not understand whether she was a boy or a girl. This was a result of his austerities, which made his consciousness unable to distinguish between the two. Āgnīdhra thus addressed Purvachitti as Dvija while speaking to her as follows: "O Brahmana, due to your delicate body, it must be very difficult for you to carry these two large horns on your chest. Because you have covered these horns with cloth, I can guess that you do not want anyone to see the valuable things you are keeping inside them. Please uncover them so that I can see what you are carrying, and rest assured that I will not take anything from you. If you feel some inconvenience in removing the covering, then I will be glad to help you, for I want very much to see what wonderful things your horns contain. O best friend, kindly tell me where you reside, for I cannot imagine how the residents of that place have gotten such firm breasts and other wonderful bodily features that agitate the mind of the beholder. Judging by your sweet speech and gentle smile, I think that your mouth must contain nectar. A very pleasing scent is coming from your mouth, and thus you must always partake of the remnants of food that is offered to Lord Vishnu. Your earrings resemble two sharks, and your eyes are also like restless fish swimming in the lake of your beautiful face. Your rows of white teeth appear to be swans upon the water, and your scattered hair resembles swarms of bumblebees that have become mad after the nectar from the lotus flowers growing there. My eyes have become very agitated upon seeing you play with the ball in the lotus-like palm of your hand. Like a man who is attached to woman, the most cunning wind is trying to take off your lower garment. Are you not mindful of it? O best of those performing austerities, what austerity did you undergo to achieve this wonderful beauty that dismantles the penance of others? I wish that you would join me in my austerities, for it may be that the Creator of the universe, Lord Brahma, has been pleased to send you here to become my wife. I cannot bear to give up your company, for my mind has become fixed upon you and cannot be drawn away. A woman with beautiful firm breasts, since I am your surrendered follower, you may take me wherever you like." Intelligent Maharaja Āgnīdhra knew the art of flattering women to win them over to his side. Thus, he was able to please the Apsara with his lusty words. Actually, as a devotee, Āgnīdhra had no attraction for material enjoyment, but since he wanted a wife for begetting a good son, he expertly pleased her with flattering words. One who is expert in this art is called Vidagdha. Purvachitti thus became attracted by the king's intelligence, learning, youth, beauty, behavior, opulence, and magnanimity. And so she lived with him for many thousands of years, enjoying both earthly and celestial happiness. In the womb of his wife, Āgnīdhra begot 9 sons, one year after the other, named Nabhi, Kimpurusha, Harivarsa, Ilavrita, Ramyaka, Hiranyamaya, Kuru, Bhadrashva, and Ketumala. Due to drinking the breast milk of their mother, these boys became very strong, and when they grew up, each was given a portion of Jambudvipa to rule. These kingdoms, which are the 9 Varsas, received the names of these 9 brothers. When her sons had grown up, Purvachitti returned to heaven so that she could pay her respects to Lord Brahma. After her departure, Āgnīdhra always thought of her because his lusty desires had not become satisfied. Thus, after his death, he was promoted to the Pitraloka where Purvachitti resided. After the passing away of their father, the 9 brothers headed by Nabhi married the daughters of Meru. With this chapter comes to end. Radhe Radhe.